Professor Varalakshmi from Cambridge Institute of Technology, Computer Science and Engineering branch. In this lecture, I'm going to discuss about paging and how it is handled by the operating system. So before getting into paging, we need to brush up the basic concepts related to program execution. Whenever a program needs to be executed, the operating system has to load the instructions into the main physical memory. When the system needs to load the instructions in order to run the program, obviously the whole program need to be loaded into memory. This was a traditional manner in which the process were executed, the set of instructions were executed. So if suppose the program size is around 1 MB, then obviously the whole program, the 1 MB size program, the set of instructions need to be loaded into physical memory. And not only that, when it is getting loaded, it needs to be in contiguous memory allocation, which means the physical memory has to be a continuous space. So 1 MB of continuous space needs to be available in order to store this particular program. So the major drawback related to this is obviously quite clear. We need to search for the complete size of availability. The space availability should be this complete 1 MB size. And second thing is the whole program, that is a complete set of instructions, need to be loaded in order for the system to execute the program. So this drawback is being overcome through paging. So to give a more emphasis into the drawback, we can just think like the complete size needs to be available in physical memory, as I told. So obviously, if some other portion of the physical memory is available for say less than 1 MB space, then that space cannot be utilized for storing the instructions over here. It just lies. Not many spaces might be available in physical memory, which might be empty, but it cannot be utilized for this current program because the size isn't matching over there. So now in paging, this problem is highly overcome. When it comes to paging, we are overcoming this problem. So what happens here is, with respect to paging, there is no restriction to the size of the physical memory space that is available. So whichever space is available in physical memory, that can be utilized for storing the instructions. So how this is being done? When the size in the physical memory is going to be way less than the program size also, we can go for storing the instructions. So how this is going to be done is nothing but the concept of paging. So basically in paging, the program is divided into portions and fixed into blocks in the physical memory. So the whole program, which means the set of instructions that we have in hand, is going to be divided into portions, which are going to be called as pages, whose sizes will be more or less mapped to the size availability in the physical memory. Whichever slot is available in physical memory, compared to that, these instructions are going to be divided. So that's what paging is. So the apt definition for paging is, it is a memory management scheme that permits the physical address space of a process to be non-contiguous. So this is a key terminology with respect to paging. We don't want the physical memory space to be continuous anymore. We don't want the instructions to be stored in a contiguous manner anymore. It can be spread across the physical memory in whichever space is available over there, right? So now, before getting into the actual concept of paging and how it is being handled, we need to understand two things. One is the logical address and the other is physical address. So what is meant by logical address now? Whenever a program has been stored by the user and a post compilation, obviously the program is going to be compiled and the logical address would get generated by the processor. The CPU generates the logical address. So that is also called as a logical memory address. on the other hand, the actual location in the physical memory where the instruction is being stored, that is going to be called as a physical address. So to have a better clarity about it, we can go for recollecting the concept of the so-called instruction register and program counter. Program counter keeps a count, or rather, it stores the values of the next instructions which needs to be executed. And instruction register exactly points to that address in the physical memory where the instruction is being stored. So it retrieves that specific instruction from the physical memory and it starts the execution. The next process starts. So this logical address is something related to that address which has been scheduled or allocated by the CPU. And physical address is the actual physical memory address space wherein the instruction is getting stored in memory. So now, with respect to paging, this is something what we need to understand. That is how the so-called logical address is going to be mapped to the physical address. The address generated by the CPU, the address number or the address value generated by the CPU obviously is not going to be the same as that of the physical memory address. So finally, these two things need to be mapped. The logical address and the physical address need to be mapped. So this concept of paging is mainly concerned about this mapping. Fine. So to get a better clarity regarding the instructions and what was told just now, just imagine we have a program consisting of 16 instructions. So the second column in this table, it represents the instruction number. And the first column over here, it represents a numbering of the bytes. So first instruction, this I1 represents the first byte which has been numbered as 0. Next instruction, I2, okay, it occupies the next byte numbered as 1 and goes on. So the instructions are being numbered based on the bytes. So every byte carries a number. So the 0, 1, 2, 3 stands for the byte numbering and this stands for the instruction. Fine. On the other hand, if we just try to visualize the physical memory, this is how the physical memory will look like. Obviously, the addressing in physical memory is nothing but a hexadecimal value. So whichever space is freely available, its hexadecimal value will be provided to the operating system. So here it is hexadecimal representation of the physical address. So when we have set of instructions like this, we are trying to divide these instructions into blocks based on the physical memory availability. Okay, so this breaking of the instructions into set of blocks is going to be called as pages. This gives a more clarity now. So with whatever instruction set we have in hand, we go for dividing the instructions into pages based on the memory size, physical memory size that is available. For example, here we can assume like the physical memory size available is nothing but 4 bytes over there. Okay. So now we go for dividing the actual program or set of instructions into 4 bytes per page. So this first block, what has been represented here, it is the first page. The next block represented over here is the second page, third and fourth and so on. So the first page over here has 4 bytes of instruction. Similarly, the second page has 4 bytes. So every page size is similar to that of the frame size. This is something very important to be noted down. So the page size over here is same as that of the frame size. So this is very important. So what are we trying to do over here is nothing but trying to map or fit these pages. We are trying to fit these pages into the frames. We are trying to fit whichever page, whichever frame is free, in that we are trying to place a particular page. Yes, so to get a better clarity, this diagrammatical representation gives a better clarity, more clarity regarding how things are going on. So here, every page has a numbering. So page 0 stands for obviously the first page. Page 1 second goes on. So this is nothing but the page number. So we need some more details when you're trying to do the mapping. Just the byte numbering is alone not sufficient. So we go for maintaining a numbering for the pages also. So page 0 means the first page. That is a numbering for the first page. 1, 2, 3 goes on. And the 0, 1, 2, 3 and all this represents the bytes with respect to the byte numbering with respect to the instruction. So what are we basically trying to do in paging is nothing but we are trying to place these pages into the free frames. Something like page 0 can be placed in a particular frame. Page 1 can be placed in another frame. Page 2, for example, in frame 6 and so on. Since we have 8 different frames available over here, completely we have 8 frames available. So these pages can be placed in these respective frames. So now, what we need to understand here is how this so-called mapping is going to be carried out, how the pages are going to be placed in the frames, or rather, what technique is going to be used in order to place a particular page into the frame. It's not so easy for a system to predict or analyze that this particular page can enter into a particular frame. So this needs to be carried out in some particular manner. Second thing is, after the pages has been placed into the frame, system should have some methodology to identify the so-called physical memory address. As I told, the logical address is not same as that of the physical address. It's entirely different. So there should be some mechanism for the system, operating system, to predict this particular physical address. So in order to understand this concept, we'll just take an example and try to analyze the concepts behind it. So for example, let us assume that this table is how the operating system has allocated the pages to the particular frame. So for example, if I have page 0, for example, page 0 has been allocated to frame 1, page 1 to frame 4 and so on. So with this particular concept in mind, right, we need to understand how the addresses are getting generated now. As I told, we will just assume this is how the allocation has been made, okay, and we will go for the calculation. And any address, okay, it is going to have two portions now, as mentioned over here. The address generated by the CPU, it is usually divided into two parts. One is the page number, other is the page offset. What does this mean? Page number represents this, page 1, page 2, page 3 and so on. And offset is nothing but this byte position, which means within this page, okay, the exact location where the instruction is being present. For example, instruction I2 is at offset 1. Instruction I4 is at offset 3. Instruction I8 is at offset 7 with respect to page number 1. So every address is going to have two portions, page number and a page offset. So finally, this page number is something which is going to get indexed into the page table. So this page table will be having the page number and the respective frame number. So the moment we get into that frame, we would be able to predict the offset also. That we are going to check it out now. So what happens over here? The paging model of the memory is something what we need to concentrate upon. We are going to see the logic behind the paging model of memory. So before getting into the logic, we try to analyze how many bits are needed in order to store the address. So now, with respect to physical memory, okay, and logical memory, we need to concentrate on the number of bits. So now, the physical memory, if you see over here, anyways, before getting into physical memory, understanding the logical memory is quite easy. So we'll start with the logical memory addressing. So with respect to logical memory, if you see, we have 4 pages and 4 bytes within each page. So in order to represent these page numbers, 2 bits is more than sufficient. That is what I've represented over here. So total number of pages is 4. Hence, 2 bits would be sufficient to represent the page number, because the page number is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3. So to represent page number 0, the bit value 00 is sufficient. To represent page number 1, the bit value 01 is sufficient. To represent page 2, similarly 10 goes on. Some representation. So we have to concentrate only on 2 bits in order to represent the page number. Similarly, in order to represent the byte numbers, okay, each page has 4 bytes. So in order to represent the 4 bytes again, we need to have only 2 bits. So it's like altogether, we need only 4 bits in order to represent the logical address. 2 bits to represent the page number. Similarly, 2 bits to represent the byte number. So this is what I have represented over here with different color representation so that it will be easy to understand. So what is happening here? I have just given a diagrammatic representation of how the logical address can be presented. So with respect to logical address over here, if you see, we have 4 bits altogether, as I was mentioning just now. So the purple color 2 bits represents the page number, and the blue color 2 bits represents the byte within the particular page. That's what I was mentioning till now. In order to represent the logical address, 4 bits are more than sufficient. So these 2 bits represents page 0. Again, these 2 bits represents page 1. These 2 bits represents page 2. And these 2 bits represents the page 3. And the respective bytes within the pages. So we need to have a clarity now. In order to represent the logical address, 4 bits are more than sufficient. Now, on the other hand, if we consider the physical address, as I was just mentioning, the physical address, what we have considered with respect to the example, we have totally 8 frames available over here. 8 free empty slots or frames available over here. So in order to represent the address of the frames now, we need 3 bits. 2 power 3 is equal to 8. So with respect to the physical memory, it is 3 bits in order to represent the frame number, and again the logic holds good here. So inside the frame we need to go to the respective bytes when I have stored the pages. So in order to go to that byte, I need 2 more bits. So what happens now? In order to represent the frame, I need 3 bits, and in order to represent the bytes within the frame, I need 2 bits, which sums up to 5 bits on the whole. So here comes the actual concept of paging. Logical address, we need totally 4 bits to represent the logical address. On the other hand, we need 5 bits in order to represent the physical address. Obviously, these 4 bits needs to be mapped to the 5 bits. So this is a major task of paging concept in operating system. So operating system has to perform some particular operation in order to map these so-called 4 bits to the 5 bits, right? So how this is being done is a logic that is represented over here. So if we consider the same, that is what, this is a table what we have assumed. So page 0 map to frame 1, page 1 map to frame 4, and so on. So let us take a small example, some calculation. If we do, we can understand how these 4 bits of logical address is getting mapped to the 5 bits of the physical address. So if suppose I consider page number 2, okay, is getting mapped to frame number 3. So now I need to get to know how this logical address is going to get converted to the so-called physical address. So if I consider the logical address for page 2, it is nothing but 1000, which means, please recollect from this diagram, when I tell 1000, when I am talking, okay, with respect to page 2, when I tell I am considering 1000 means I am considering the second page first byte. If suppose I consider 1010, that means second page and the second byte. So in this example, when I am talking about page 2, I am considering a specific instruction or a byte within that page. So that is nothing but 00. To be more specific, I am considering the first byte of the second page. That's why the logical addressing goes as 1000. On the other hand, if I consider the frame over there, the physical address, that is nothing but the frame. So now the page number 2 is getting mapped to frame number 3. Here it is quite direct because I just have to place that whole page into that frame. So I'm just considering the value of that frame number 3 over here now, which is 011. So we need 3 bits to represent the frame number. I've already written. So now what happens is, how am I going to convert these 4 bits into 5 bits in order to map this page to the physical memory? So now what is the logic followed over here is this 10, okay, this 10, nothing but the page number value is directly replaced with the frame number value. We are not doing any bit or byte conversion over here. Please understand. We are just replacing this page number with this frame number. Direct replacement. That's all. Instead of 10, I'm trying to place it as 011 because it's understood this page is going to go and lie within this particular frame. This page 2 is going to go and sit in this particular frame. This whole page is going to come over here. So I am just replacing the bit value for this page number with the respective frame number bit value. So what happens over here? This particular 10 is just replaced with 011. Thereafter, I am just retaining this byte, or rather that instruction, that byte value. It's because I'm talking about the first byte in that particular page. So it is 01100 page and the byte. Now together I'm getting that 5-bit combination. I have got the page and the respective byte over here. Now finally, in order to get the actual physical address, that is nothing but the frame number, this value is converted into the hexadecimal value. So to get a clarity about the hexadecimal value, I have just mentioned over here. So the value what we have got here is 01100. So how can we convert this 5-bit into hexadecimal is, we need to group it as 4 bits. Obviously starting from right hand side, the last bit over here. So it is like 0011. This forms one particular group. Thereafter, this 0 gets divided into another group. But since it doesn't have any bits prefixing it, we try to prefix it using 3 zeros. So this is how the grouping gets done. So this 1100 forms one block, and this 0 prefixed with remaining zeros forms another block. So this is my direct conversion to hexadecimal values. I'm just raising it to the power 2, and then when I convert it, I get the value as this. So I have got my frame value. So this is how the logical address gets converted into the physical address. So with respect to the hardware support, what the operating system does in order to carry out this paging, it's quite simple to understand. Obviously, from the CPU, we have the logical address generated. Logical address is represented using page number and the offset. So lowercase d is usually the representation used for the offset. So this is the logical address. Similarly, with respect to physical address, we have the frame and the offset. So F stands for the frame number and D stands for the offset. So what is the work of the operating system now? In order to generate the so-called page table. So in page table, we are going to have the mapping between the page number and the frame number. This is how it goes. So finally, the page table has the combination. So the moment we try to index into the page table using the page number, we will be able to get the respective frame number. Fine. So having seen the logics of paging now, we need to get into the drawbacks of paging. when paging has so much advantage when compared to the traditional method of storing that complete program into memory and trying to execute it, rather than doing that, we saw paging has lot many advantages, but equally this technique also suffers from some drawback. So the major drawback with respect to paging comes from the factor of fragmentation. So what is this fragmentation? Nothing but portions of memory lying free even after paging has been applied. Some portion of a freely available memory space is not being used appropriately. That is nothing but fragmentation. So when we concentrate on the types of fragmentation, we have two types of fragmentation. One is the external fragmentation, other is internal fragmentation. So external fragmentation is very simple and easy to understand. Whichever memory, physical memory space is available, I am trying to use it. Whichever frame is free, I am trying to utilize it to store the pages. Yes, so external fragmentation is utilized in an efficient manner. But what happens if these so-called pages, the set of instructions, right, within a particular page, if it is not complete? What I mean to tell is, for example, consider this particular page, okay, page 3. If suppose page 3 contains only 1 byte of instruction, it doesn't have 4 byte of instruction per se. Obviously, since the physical memory size is of 4 byte, these instructions has to get divided into pages of 4 byte each. The size is going to be 4 byte. Then it so happens when this particular page is allocated a particular frame, that frame space is not being utilized efficiently. I will repeat. For example, if page 3 is being allocated to frame 7 for say, okay, and what is our assumption or imagination now? This page 3 has only one instruction, only 1 byte of instruction. It doesn't have all 4 bytes of instruction within. So unfortunately, what happens is within this particular frame, it's going to be only 1 byte being utilized by this particular page. So remaining bytes is going to just lie waste over there. It is not being efficiently utilized. So this concept is nothing but internal fragmentation. So paging usually suffers from the drawback of internal fragmentation. Right. So in order to carry out this paging concept, the operating system makes use of the address translation hardware. So the so-called calculation, what we saw just now, with respect to the conversion of these logical address to physical address and all these calculation, it is automatically done by the address translation hardware. So operating system takes care of it automatically. So this mapping, the so-called mapping of the logical address to the physical address, it is being done automatically by the operating system and it is totally hidden from the user. So what about the frame table now? Obviously, similar to that of the page table, we also have a frame table which is going to be maintained by the operating system in order to have an idea about which frames would be free in the physical memory, and if certain frames are being utilized by the programs, then which particular page has been allocated to the particular frame. So this is nothing but a frame table. So basically the frame table maintains the slots, okay, details of every frame of the physical memory. So if you just go through this diagram, we get to know we have the free frame list over here. So frame number 14, 13, 18, 20 and 15 are free, and equally this represents the process. So these are the pages with respect to a new process, upcoming new process, which is trying to get loaded into the physical memory. So with respect to the free frame list and with respect to the pages available, this mapping has been completed and the final page table has been created, which means the page 0 of a particular process has been mapped to the free frame 14. So page 0 has been placed in frame number 14. Page 1 has been placed in frame number 13. Page 2 under 18 and page 3 under 20 and so on. So this is all about the basics of paging and how the mapping between logical address and physical address is being taken up by the operating system, and what are the hardwares utilized for this purpose, the drawbacks and the advantages of paging, and finally we just had a glimpse of the frame table. Thank you.